Did you know that some English learners think they can improve their English listening skills without consistently practicing their English listening skills? I know, crazy, isn't it? But that's why we're here, to consistently practice our English listening skills. Follow and subscribe for daily episodes on Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. Today's topic: hostels and hotels. Hostels and hotels. Now, I don't have too much experience with hotels because hotels are expensive. So I have some memories from my childhood when my family used to stay in one hotel room. I used to do a sport called surf lifesaving, and we would have competitions in different parts of the country at big, massive swimming pools. And sometimes we would have to stay in a hotel overnight. So I have some early memories of staying in a cheap hotel, like a chain hotels. So in the UK, we have Premier Inn, Travel Lodge. I can't even remember the other ones, but we have some of those. And more recently, my girlfriend got very, very lucky. She won a prize in a raffle. So a raffle, when you buy, let's say, 5 tickets, and everybody buys however many tickets they want. And once everybody has bought their tickets, they randomly select one of the tickets. And if that ticket is yours, you win a prize. And my girlfriend won. And it was a night stay in a hotel. It was pretty good. Quite a nice hotel as well. We got very lucky with that one. That was right in the city centre of Cardiff. And if she is listening to this, which I don't think she is, she might tell me off because I can't remember exactly when it was. Because it was for my birthday, but I don't think it was on my birthday. Maybe it was the day before my birthday and we woke up in the hotel on my birthday. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Hostels. What is a hostel? Well, if you are Australian or you're in Australia or you're learning Australian English, they pronounce it a little bit differently. Hostels. Hostel. And that reminds me of pastel de nata from Portugal. Completely different. I don't know why it reminds me of that. But in British English, we call them hostels. So these are a lot cheaper, and most of the rooms there they're shared accommodation. So you can have up to like 16 or 18 people staying in one room in bunk beds. So when they have one bed on top of another bed. And these are quite common for backpackers when you go traveling around the world. And recently, I was in Central America. I went to Mexico, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Not in that order. We went to Mexico, Guatemala, and then El Salvador. And I stayed in quite a few different hostels. Hostels can be very, very nice. Hostels can also be very, very not nice. And in my time in my life, I have stayed at some pretty terrible hostels, but not too bad. Generally, they're okay. If other people are willing to stay there, then they can't be that bad, right? And some of them are very, very nice. I went to one in El Salvador. I can't remember the name, but it was one of the first hostels in the area, one of the first ones that existed in the area. And it used to be very, very expensive because it was very luxurious. It was a very nice one. But then the area became very, very popular for tourists. So a lot more hostels started appearing. The original hostel had some competition. So they had to lower their prices. So it was a little bit more affordable for us. So we got to stay for a couple of nights in quite a nice hostel. I had a view of the sea, just about. It was through some trees and I could just see one little patch of blue so I could see the sea, which is still amazing, don't get me wrong. That's probably the best hostel I have ever stayed in. And they gave us free breakfast. You can't get better than that. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, they had free chamomile tea. I love chamomile tea. And you could have as much as you want. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening. That's 5.5 minutes, so we better end here. I don't want you working too hard now. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. And I will see you tomorrow.